Alright, so today I'm taking a look at a portable and rechargeable vacuum cleaner. It says it's a wet dry. Because of the very small size, I would say wet would not be like if you spill a gallon of milk, but more if you're, say, cleaning out your car after a lot of dirt and grass and things build up, and maybe your shoes are wet from rain or maybe some snow. You get a little bit of ice or water from that. Ice melted to water, of course, and left a little bit of residue. So overall, it's a nice little assortment that comes with it. It is very lightweight. I don't know if you would say it's got very strong suction, because a lot of people will say that's more of an opinion than a fact. So I don't have any way to qualify what is or isn't strong suction, but it does the job for what I need it for, which I basically just need something relatively small and portable, because without having a portable vacuum that's rechargeable with a battery, I have to grab a drop cord, run it from inside to outside, because I don't have really a very good solution outside to plug it in. So this is a great option for me in that regard. So to show you what is included real quick, of course you have the box, and I kept this here because I want to show you. There's a little black piece of plastic. I don't know how well it shows up, but basically there's a little piece of plastic here that's usually going to be located right here, and you'll know because you'll see the tape, but you can't turn it on because of that. So just a heads up. Other than that, you have the unit itself. I've already disassembled it so I can show you the components a little bit better, but here you have a small filter that you will want to check and clean periodically, and it's just a little piece of foam, so you can pull that out and clean it, especially if you start to have a decrease in suction. I guess if I had some fingernails, it would actually be very easy to get a hold of. But it's just a little foam filter that blocks the actual inlet for the motor itself. And I believe this thing is metal blades, so durability should be really good. That's the hope, I would assume, at least. You have your charger, which uses a barrel style connector, and we'll talk more about the charging aspect of this in just a moment. Of course, you have this portion that snaps on here. You have your filter, and of course it has all the rubber gaskets so that it seals. But the great thing about this filter, as opposed to a lot of other filters, because I do have a few others like this, but the reason I like this one better, a couple of reasons, but one of the main reasons is the stainless steel filter. You clean this filter, you just keep using it. It's very easy to clean, wash, let it dry, and then you can start using it again. You have this attachment that has the brush on it. You have this extension, which isn't super flexible, but this is more intended to give you an extended amount of reach. So let's say you're cleaning a vent that's overhead, or maybe you're just doing cracks and crevices to the corners and things. This is going to allow you a little better reach. And you have your crevice tool, and what goes along with the crevice tool is this really thick rubber. You can see it's kind of bouncy, but it has these little fingers, if you will, sort of a brush-like, and you just put that on the end. I guess it goes on either way. Probably the other way is wiser. And that becomes your pet hair tool, and it's got a very soft rubbery grip, so I'm sure it'll grab pretty well. However, because it is a small vacuum, I think you're going to be limited on the amount of pet hair you can deal with, just because you will have it accumulate on the filter, and that will decrease the suction over a fairly short period of time, most likely. You have your user manual, and of course you saw the box. Now, the only complaint, or the only reason that I would say to dislike this, for me at least, is I wish that it used a micro USB, which is a very common type thing. So if you misplace this plug, you wouldn't have to worry about the charging aspect. So that could be a really good way to improve on this. Other than that, what I really like, as I mentioned, is the stainless steel filter. and it has an LED light here. So if you're using this in your car especially, and you're dealing with some small areas, you have this extra illumination, which is really good. It does a pretty good job. So the charge time is about 4 to 5 hours. The run time is 20 to 30 minutes. It actually is very lightweight, not heavy. Myself being a medical issues sufferer, or whatever you want to call that, I don't know, having disabilities and different things, over many years, I'm a lot weaker. Toting the bigger vacuum, unwinding, winding up a big drop cord and dragging that in and out, that gets tiresome very quickly. So a unit like this for me is extremely useful and extremely handy. So on the charging aspect, I wanted to talk to you about that real quick. It plugs in here at the back. You have a blue LED, which is also the button here that you push to release the mechanism to open this and access your filter. So there's, I think, five tiny little dots, kind of like a 5 side of a dice. And when this is plugged up, it will flash. When it's fully charged, it will be solid, and it'll be blue in color at all times. So the great thing about this though, and I like this better than some of the things that you deal with when charging, when you're charging a lot of devices, they warn you not to leave it plugged up all the time, and that you need to unplug it, disconnect it, and not allow the battery to overcharge. This, you don't have a problem with that. You can just leave it plugged up, have it ready to go, so it's always charged, and it's supposed to not overcharge the battery at any time. So that is a really great aspect. The noise, it's rated at 75 decibels, so it's not super quiet. It's a vacuum cleaner. It's to be expected, but it's not crazy loud. So anyway, I just wanted to share some of my thoughts about it, what I like, my one dislike, the charging interface. And other than that, it's a really handy unit. I have, I think, 2 other, maybe 3 other small portable vacuums, and as of right now, this is my favorite because I like the stainless steel filter and I like the LED light primarily. It has some additional attachments the others don't have, and it looks nice. It works fine for my needs. And other than that, I will give you a really quick demonstration of what I'll primarily use it for. For the most part, that'll be the only use I really have, with the exception of maybe some minor kitchen spills. This will primarily my primary use for this will be to clean out dirt and small grass, maybe some leaves, but mainly grass and dirt, and that'll be out of the car. Clean the floorboards up, and that's pretty much it. I don't have a lot else that I can say. And the sound, not terrible, but fairly loud. There's a just super minor delay between turning it on and turning it off. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but you'll notice as soon as you flip it into the on position, it's a split second as it ramps up and then cycles down. But overall, you can feel the air output really nice from the vents here. Does a good job, does what I need it to do. Hopefully it'll work for you, and if you weren't aware of it. This is a much better option though with the stainless steel filter, so you're not worried about replacing it or damaging some of the really thin paper, paper cloth, whatever it is. It's almost a paper-like or cloth-like filter. So I'll show you the demonstration of this in action, and if you want to find out more information about this, there will be a link below the video. Alright, so we're outside here, and as you can see, I have quite a bit of dirt accumulated over here in this corner, and I'm going to use this. I've actually got the attachment on it, make it a little bit easier. I'm going to clean this up just real quick, give you a quick demonstration, then we'll go ahead and clean up the rest of the car while I'm at it afterward. Okay, so here you go. Alright, so this other part here that you see that remains, that's kind of stuck on there. Like I said, the suction on this is pretty good for my needs. Again, it's going to be a personal opinion. It's not as strong as some that I've seen in the past, that's for sure. And of course the attachment is gonna, play a factor in that. So anyway, that is just to give you an idea. Worst case scenario, using the full attachment and the crevice tool is going to give you the least amount, as far as how much it's got to do the work. So I want to give you an idea of what to expect with that, but I don't know how well it'll show up through here, but you can see that the filter has stopped all that grass and dirt from going any further. I don't know how well it shows up, but hopefully you can see that. So anyway, I just wanted to give you that quick demonstration, let you know what to expect. Okay? I'll go ahead and clean the rest of this up now. Thank you.